Well, we're here. It's Wednesday. It's part 2. Welcome back to Leading Our Own Way. I'm Andrew White. And if you haven't listened to part 1 yet with Justin, please, I encourage you to go back and start there, because Justin Elliott's story needs to be heard from the beginning, as they all do. But we're here on Wednesday. It's part 2. Like every week, go back Monday, part 1. In part 1, Justin gave us a raw and honest look at a life shaped by addiction, incarceration, and choices he deeply regrets. He held nothing back, including how those choices affected his marriage and the people closest to him. In this second part, we're going to go even deeper. We talk about what real redemption looks like and what faith did for a man who had every reason to give up, and how Justin now shows up every single day for people the world has forgotten. Let's get into it. Here's Justin and myself. So, when was the first prison visit for you then?
Would have been, I think I was 18. I was attending court, I think at 16, 17, and then ended up going to juvenile detention centre when I was 18. And it was just consistent after that. I'd be, visiting prison once or, once every 1 year or something like that. It'd always be short sentences, a few months here, 6 months there. So nothing too crazy, but it was constant. I think I've been in and out of the system about 7-8 times.
Yeah, wow. So what was the longest stint you ever did in hospital? In prison?
It would have been my last one. That was 7 months.
Yeah.
One of my Malmesbury ones, I was sentenced to 12 months, but in the Youth Justice Centre, your sentence gets halved. Yeah. So I was sentenced for 12, done 6, but the last one in 2019, I got out in 2020. That was a 7-month visit.
What did you do to get that?
The 7 months?
Yeah.
It was a combination of not listening to intervention orders. Intervention orders getting put in place. I think there was a couple of fights. Hurt a few people. Yeah, just a whole lot of stuff.
And with this period in jail, then did this change you? I mean, I know you went a lot, but towards the end of after the 7-8 times when you came out 6 years ago, did any of that? I mean, I know religion played a part in that, but the actual visits itself, did it ever teach you something new every time you got out to want to at least change and improve your own life? Oh
yeah, definitely. Like there was that many times. I hated prison. I hated it with a passion. I hated being there. I did not enjoy 1 minute of it. So every time I was there, I did not want to be there. And obviously when I get out, I'm like, okay, yes, straight and narrow. And then I'd always end up stuffing up.
What flips you over that edge to mess up again, do you think?
It's just bad habits, I guess. Bad habits, just being so comfortable in the way I was. Yeah. It's hard to detach yourself from that when you're so far deep in it.
Did you ever seek any support, again, apart from seeing the priest in prison? Did you ever seek any other alternative support as well?
Yeah, there was times where I was, speaking to psychologists, a handful of different ones too, and I'd never really got anything that was substantial enough to really make me realise or flip my life around. And I was on the search too. I was like, there was a point in my life where I'm like, why am I so angry? What is the reason I'm so angry? I was searching for answers and I could never find them.
Did you ever get them?
No.
There
was one psychologist I did end up seeing. He made me look at things a bit differently, definitely. But yeah, a lot of the others I didn't get anything out of. Or, I don't know if I was not in the right mind frame to absorb any of it, or it just wasn't explained to me in a way that I could absorb it.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I'm interested about that psychologist that did help you think differently. What did he do to get you have a different viewpoint?
I remember him doing a lot of, imagine if you're in this situation and this happens to, he'd done a lot of that, like, not directly to me, but in different ways saying, imagine if this happened and that happened, and it gives you a different perspective Yeah, I found that helped.
Yeah, perspective is definitely something, isn't it? If you can actually convince the other person to think about it from that angle, sometimes it does build empathy and maybe increase the chances of changing a small, tiny habit, you know. Were you working did you have a career or a job during all these times in prison when you came in and out? Did you have a line of work?
Yeah, so I've been a plasterer for, I'd say, since I was 21. So I'm going on about 15 years. And I've always worked since I was legally able to work. I was out there working because, you know, growing up with not much, I was out there working and making money for what I wanted in a way, you know. So always worked. And, you know, I'd always had a job there when I'd be out of prison. You know, everyone sort of understood my situation, and I'm a good worker in a way, so I've always got work no matter what the situation in the end.
Did you ever get fired because of the jail visits?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, that's good. They obviously saw something in you, didn't they?
Yeah.
That's good. So, you know, whenever faced with prison and mental health decline is going, did you ever dabble into drugs and things that come along typically with that line of the style of life?
Yeah, I sure did. So I think at a young age, I think when I was about 16, started drinking, started smoking dope, and that was a consistent thing for years upon years. So that was an issue. And then I don't know how long ago it would have been now. Probably, I'm going to guess 8 years ago. Actually, no. Probably about 10 years ago, I dabbled with the ice.
Yeah.
Had a run-in with the ice for about a year with my ex-partner, and that is a dirty, dirty drug.
Where did that take you? Like, if physically or mentally, where did that take you? If I was your friend in the room with you, what would I have seen?
Oh, I'd just be paranoid, looking out windows, and you know, think people are around, hearing stuff. It really messes with your head, and even like my ex, it was messing with her head too, and you know, getting accused of things that weren't happening, and it's not a good place to be. You know, not sleeping. Yeah,
which affects your mental health big time within itself, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can really cook yourself on that. Yeah,
on the drug, you mean?
Yeah.
And how did you? For anyone who's listening, who's on it or suffering with it, or has somebody in their family who's aware of something, how do you begin to even start the journey of making a decision, then actually following through on that decision of coming off it?
Yeah, it's because it was an addiction, and I couldn't break it. And the only way for me was another prison visit,
like cold turkey.
And you know, having that mindset that okay, I'm never touching that again.
Yeah,
you know, because you really know the damage it does. But I've seen guys in prison that, you know, been in for a few months and they're like, can't wait to get back on it. It's like, yeah, it's not a good place to be. I don't understand.
So they've even experienced the cold turkey. They've got through it.
Yeah.
Probably don't need it anymore, but they still want it.
Yeah, I think in a way too. You know, pharmaceuticals probably doesn't help. You know, medication. There's a lot of medication in prison that can replace, you know, that craving, and they stay on that for as long as they can be in prison. Then that probably doesn't help the situation to get clean. So I never got on any medication to get clean off anything. So,
well, Danny Shannon was on months ago. As we're filming, it was only a few weeks ago, but by the time we come out today, he was months ago, and he said the same thing. There was a replacement that he had in prison to slowly come off it, but that's just a authorized replacement of it, of the drug of. It wasn't ice. I don't think it was for heroin. I think.
Yeah.
And I forget what it's called, but it was fascinating. I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, you got like the methadone program, and that's
it. Yeah,
that everyone goes. Oh, I remember that. Like whenever they called medication, you'd get all the people on heroin running basically to go and get their methadone.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's basically a replacement.
Yeah,
does not help the situation.
No, yeah. So it feels like the cold turkey was better for you.
Yeah.
And would you advise that to other people who are struggling to try their best to go as a cold turkey, or do you think, because I'm not aware, but is there any other safe routes the not being in prison, do you think, that you're aware of?
Yeah, well, you really just need to want to not. You really want to have to get off it. You have to
Yeah.
want to do it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and you can find help. There's help out there. You know, I've got a good friend that runs a rehab. You know, there's a lot of other guys. You know, Dennis and everyone that's got that lived experience that can lead you in the right direction.
Yeah. Run that
But
rehab.
it's a matter of putting yourself out there and reaching out for support and really wanting to make that change within yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, give cold turkey a go, and it depends. It all depends too how big your habit is, how long you've been an addict, and there's so many bits that play a part, I think.
Yeah, with the cold turkey, it's quite hard if you have the freedom, isn't it? Whereas you didn't have the freedom, so it was not that it was easy for you, but to be locked away where you can't access it and there's no choice. You were in a way forced into that situation, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
So outside of plastering, I know you've dabbled into a few other things in your work. What other type of work have you done in your time?
So like I've worked at Safeway or Woolworths, when they used to call it Safeway.
Yeah.
I've had a job at Pizza Hut. I've had a job at a cake factory, at a reception. I've had a job putting up temporary fencing. So I've tried all different kinds of jobs, but fell into plastering by accident. You know, I was actually buying a car off a guy on the street. So it's, when a council puts a sticker on your car, saying, if it's unregistered, if you don't get it off the road within this long, we're going to take it. So I ended up knocking on this door, ended up buying the car. He offered me a job, started working as a plasterer, and here I am today.
No way.
It was not intentional at all. I just fell into it.
And you're still with him today, did you say?
No, I'm not working for him.
Oh.
I've worked for many other guys during that time, but that's how it all kicked off.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy. I love that. With all of this time, what we've not mentioned, you started to grow a family, didn't you? You started to have you had children with your former partner. How old were you and how long ago was that?
So I think I was about 21 when I had the first. He's 16 now. And my daughter's 12, going on 13 in a couple of months.
Yeah.
But, so I was with the mother of the children for 15 years, split up about 4 years ago or something. It's good when you're young, I think I was just very young at the time, and my state of mind and everything at that stage wasn't the greatest. She liked the bad boy and I was the bad boy, and eventually I grew out of that, and I think things started gradually, falling apart, and at a lot of times it was toxic. I wasn't the best person at times. She did things to provoke, and it was just back and forward, arguing, fighting. Even intervention orders getting in place at stages, and it was not a very healthy relationship. So, unfortunately, we ended that. Well, I ended up leaving, and that was it. And now I'm married with a beautiful wife, and everything's just amazing on that side of things. But with the kids, there's a bit of a struggle, a bit of a story about that too. So. Yeah, I don't have any contact at the moment. They want nothing to do with me, so it's not easy, but it is what it is.
What would you say to them if they were listening now? What would you like them to hear from you?
Oh, that I love them. I love my kids dearly, and I don't think they realise that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it was easy? Well, not. Do you think? You probably already know. What was it like for them and for you? Upon reflection, looking back, to see their dad go to prison so much in their young life?
Yeah, it probably wasn't good. We kept it like somewhat of a secret for a couple of times there when they were really, really young. But obviously, once they got older, they knew. Yeah, I could imagine it wouldn't have been easy, not having dad around, because I was very close with my children. My daughter was attached to me like glue. My son grew up really quick. Good, they were good, really good kids, and had really good relationships. But obviously going to prison would have fractured a few things within them. but I was always there in other ways.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that mainly affected them was the split up. About 4 years ago now. I think that played a bigger role than any of the prison sentences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you said about thingy orders.
Intervention orders.
Intervention orders. Sorry, yeah. I had a million one things running through my head then. Intervention orders. Why were they put in place? Just taking a very quick break to thank our sponsor, SU Skincare. If you haven't heard of them, SU Skincare started right here in Australia, using Australian ingredients to make skincare straightforward and accessible, especially for men who want results without the fuss. Their journey took them all the way to the US, where they were featured in Macy's and over 300 stores. Now they're back with a fresh approach, focusing on healthy skin and authenticity for everyone. I'm proud to have SU Skincare as a sponsor on Leading Our Own Way. See the show notes for their website and to see how you can keep your skin healthy and confident. And if you're interested in sponsoring like SU Skincare, drop us a message. We'd love to hear from you. Now, right back to the episode.
Oh, because my ex and myself would end up getting physical, and I'd blow a fuse and lose my shit, and police would end up coming to the house and remove me, or
Was that during the relationship or after the relationship?
That was during.
Yeah.
And the kids went through a lot of that too. That's another thing that would have impacted them, was hearing a lot of violence and sometimes seeing it too. So none of that obviously helped. It's never good as a child seeing the violence, because I grew up with a lot of that too, a lot of domestic violence between my mum and one of her partners. So yeah.
Did it go both ways, the violence? You on her and her on you? Yeah. And what scars has had on you personally then? Because it sounds like you regret it. You sound like you're remorseful, and you sound, because I know you, I've met you. You seem like a good dude, and I think people can hear that today. What impacts has it had on you when you reflect back and look at that old person in yourself?
I just, in a way, I kind of wish that. I take it in two ways, So my whole lifestyle and everything that I've gone through has somewhat built me as a person, and understanding where I came from to where I am now. I wish I was where I am now back then.
Yeah.
But everything plays its part, and obviously I regret it. Violence is never good. But I just have to face the music and accept what happened, accept everything, and make sense of why it happened. That's a key as well.
So, for you to go on a straight and narrow, again, I know religion's played a part, but what have you done? What else have you done personally? Do you have a particular morning routine? Is there any mental health strategies that you put in place in your life now to maintain a well-balanced life, a good mental health state? Is there anything that you follow to keep yourself thriving? Or
not exactly, to be honest. I've got a dog. The dog helps.
Well, there you go.
Dog always helps.
Yeah, definitely does. My dog saved me many times.
Yeah, and the wife is amazing as well. But no exact routines. I just try and stay positive. I try and be positive, even in negative situations. I'm passionate with what I do at work, so that gives me drive and
purpose,
satisfaction. Obviously, pretty happy with what I do. Other people are happy with my work, and just that's pretty satisfying at the end of the day. And obviously building the community, building friendships, and putting myself out there a bit more really helps. I used to be a real introvert and not be a social person at all. So putting myself out there, being more social and connecting with people definitely helps as well.
So apart from the platforms that I've met you in and when we go for dinner, do you do other things like that with other groups apart from going contributing to the homeless community? But is there anything else you get involved with?
In a way, not so much groups, but I'm more social and more positive and confident with just anyone. Chatting away to builders and other tradies on site, and having a laugh and getting to know each other instead of just going to work and just doing what you got to do and then leave. So Yeah, I quite enjoy that too.
That's good. That's good. So, just quickly before we come to a full circle of the app, I feel like we need to bring in your father because, your dad, you mentioned, suffered with drinking a lot as well during that time. You were going through a bit of a time there because you would actually be going helping the homeless, but then also going helping your dad all the way around. You had quite busy nights when you're doing that type of thing, wasn't you? And helping him with his alcohol. What did you do to help him through that difficult time?
Yeah, that was divine timing, to be honest, because I was at one stage when I was with my ex, I was living, I don't know, maybe an hour drive from my dad, so I could only see him on a weekend, once in a
Yeah.
blue moon or something.
Yeah.
But when I met my wife, she lived within 20-minute drive, and it was on the way from where we feed the homeless in the city to home. So we were in Essendon, and feeding the homeless was in the cities, and Dad was in Kensington.
Yeah.
So he was on the way. So I'd go. There was a point where he could barely get himself around. I ended up buying him a mobility scooter, just so he could get himself around. But it's continually like heavy drinking. You can see he was deteriorating, diabetes. You know, he ended up getting gangrene on a toe, lost a toe. So he was
Yeah.
just gradually going down, down. So whatever leftovers we'd have in the city on a Wednesday, I'd go past and see him, and like even see him nearly most nights after work because I'd be on the way through and check up on him, try and restrict his drinking in a way. I was trying to get my brothers to get on board to put him in a rehab. So we're just checking on him, buying him food from the grocery shop, and making sure he's got decent stuff because he couldn't get himself around. It was a. I'm very grateful to have spent those last months with him before he did pass. Like I said, it was divine timing. And then one night, I ended up, I was trying to restrict his drinking, checking his cupboards, checking his hiding spots. He'd always have his goon bag. He was on that really cheap, nasty wine, and just trying to restrict that as much as I could. He'd tell me he's not drinking, but then obviously I'd find stuff. There was one stage where I ended up leaving the house and watched him jump on his mobility scooter and went straight to the bottle shop once we left, and confronting him about it and everything, cracking the shits with him at sometimes. But yeah, there was like an argument we had about the drinking when I was at his place. He because his feet were no good, not very well, got off his mobility scooter, went to walk, run off. He had a fall and broke his shoulder. So he ended up in hospital for a couple of weeks, I think it was actually, and they couldn't operate because his diabetes, and we were getting stuffed around with the nurses and surgeons, and they said they were going to operate, but then they just had him sitting bedridden in a bed, on heavy painkillers, and he was just gradually deteriorating to the point where he ended up in palliative care. Liver and kidneys were shutting down, and so I got organised the extended family to come out because we were literally told that he's got this long, and yeah, watched him take his last breath.
Oh man!
So yeah, in a way, I was not surprised. He was very young. He was only 60 years old.
Oh
So
God, he is young. Oh my God!
Yeah, he was born on Christmas Day actually, and
wow.
they spent his last birthday in hospital, and yeah, we lost him.
And it stemmed from him wanting to go and get some more alcohol and having that fall.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear.
But at the same time, like, he did put me through a lot of hell, a lot of mental games and stuff like that. I get phone calls at all hours of the night that he's going to end it, or he's had enough, or Dad had his own traumas as well, so he just could never break away from that. And that's like, as we were saying earlier, with trying to get them when they're young, because there's people like my dad that couldn't get out of it, and that he ended up where he ended up.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear. Do you feel? Is there anything that you feel that we've missed today that you think people need to hear about your journey?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I always ask that question. It's one of my standard questions. And I'm just going to do a full circle back to that question that I asked you at the beginning about your mother. What do you think you would like your mum to ask you, but she never does?
It's probably one of the main things to date is the kids, because she's got contact with my kids, and
Oh, does she?
she sort of, I don't think she relays a lot of the information over to me, and sort of plays a bit of both sides, which can be frustrating.
Yeah.
You know, a question I'd like her to ask is like, how do I feel about the kids and the situation, and you know, am I okay? How am I feeling? You know, what can I do to help? You know, anything like that would be nice, but yeah, there's not much help on that side, but
It'll come. It'll come because you'll keep being positive, you'll keep living with purpose, and you'll keep contributing to the world, and they will see that one day. You know, even if it's not right now, they will see that one day, and they'll see through maturity and open-mindedness, they'll see the growth in you, and they'll want to have that difficult conversation with you one day, and you'll have that open conversation, and it might be horrible for all of you, but it'll be laid out on the table, and it'll grow. Your relationship will grow from there. I know that. I can see that. And
yeah, that's one of those things too. A lot of the reason why I do the videos and put it out on the channels and whatnot is to leave a legacy. I want to leave behind a legacy. I don't want to leave behind all these bad things that I did. I want to swing that around and leave something positive for the world. You know, because you never know. You never know when your day's up.
That's right. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more, my friend. Could not agree more. So future plans for Justin then? Where does the future lie for yourself?
Future plans, you know, I don't have any set goals, to be honest. I'm one of those guys that go with the flow. If a door opens, it opens, and, you know, I'll decide whether to go through the door or not. But just keep plucking away at what I'm doing, keep building community, keep staying positive, you know, community online, community on the streets. Just keep doing what we're doing.
Love it. Love it. So if you could give a piece of powerful advice to leave us on for anyone that can connect to the things we've discussed today, what would you say?
What helped me, I think, is keep searching for answers. If you're struggling with something, keep looking, keep searching, because there'll be that day that, you know, it'll click, and you'll know what path to go down and how to start addressing any issues. So yeah, just keep searching, you know, stay positive. Stay
curious.
Yeah, definitely. And put yourself out there. Don't be closed off.
Absolutely. The more you put yourself out there, the more things come your way, the more community you build, more connections you build, the more you can contribute, and the more you'll be able to cope with life, you know. I that's what I truly believe.
Yeah, and I definitely think church for me is a very good place for that, to be open, vulnerable. Everyone, you know, no one judges you.
Yeah.
And if the more you do open up, the more praise and help and support you get.
Yeah. So it sounds like church was very, very influential on you.
Yeah, it sure is. Definitely.
That's great. That's great. Love to hear it. Love it. So your purpose, Justin, I always ask the guests at the end of the episode what their purpose is, but I ask them to put it into one powerful line.
What is my purpose? It's funny. I had a question the other night. We do a Bible study, and the pastor goes, if you had a question to ask God, just one question, and that was my answer. What is my purpose?
So you've asked the question the other way.
Yeah. But in reflecting, I don't know, my purpose is to keep finding the inner me, keep sharing my journey, keep supporting the people around me, and just stay positive.
Yeah.
Stay positive, yeah, and lift other people up.
Yeah. Love it. And have you forgiven the old Justin from the younger days? Have you forgiven what you went through, your mother as well?
Yeah. And, in a way, it comes with its pros and cons, So, even growing up young, quick, having to help my brothers and everything, that did build me some structure and routine as well. Like, I do have some strengths from the negative side of things when I was young.
Yeah.
So I don't hate on anything. I kind of, and I respect everyone. I respect my mum. She's been through her own stuff, and just to accept. I've accepted what she's done, and it is what it is. And I love her dearly. Love my mum to bits, and I hope she knows that. And there's no hate or anything from anything that happened in the past.
Good. I hope she listens to this and hears that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, if anyone wants to please follow Justin and keep up to date with what he's doing and all the amazing things he's doing in the homeless community, please go follow The Short Straw Melbourne on YouTube. You're on other platforms too, are you, Justin? Please plug it and tell us now, and I'll put everything in the show notes too.
Yeah, I basically dedicate everything to YouTube. It's a hard slog, but I dabble with the TikTok and the Instagram and everything, but it's nothing that I really invest time too much in. But mainly YouTube, The Short Straw Melbourne. All my details are in there. We do backpack walks. We've actually got a backpack walk on the 23rd of this month. I'll have about 30 backpacks full of essentials. So we normally consistently try and do that every month. So if you want to be a part of something special, to hand some stuff out to the homeless and food, and be a part of a group that's got the same intention, reach out to me. And Absolutely. We also, on the Wednesdays, the Pentecost Care, not-for-profit charity where we help the homeless. That's on Facebook. Just look up Pentecost Care.
Beautiful. Absolutely. And if you are listening outside of Melbourne, around Australia or around America and UK and all the 65 countries that we're currently getting listened in, just go down to your local community and help there as well. I don't expect you to fly to Melbourne for this, but if you can, great. Otherwise, help in your community, because I know there's loads of homeless around that do need support and help and guidance and given some purpose in life. So, and
that's it. Awesome.
All inspired from people like yourself, Justin. So thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you.
Well, Justin, it's been an absolute honour and pleasure to have you on the show. It's nice to know that we've met each other and we'll stay friends, and I love that. But thanks for joining me on part of my journey as well.
No worries, mate. Looking forward to seeing you again.
Yeah, me too, man. We'll have to have a nice dinner sometime again with the boys.
That's it, for sure.
Well, to everybody else, thank you for joining Justin and myself. Like I say, please go and click on the show notes, see everything Justin's up to, give him a follow, give him all the support. Even the clicks, they just help spread the word to everybody. But until next week, join us next week for another amazing guest. Until then, keep leading your own way. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you then. Bye for now. Well, we've just ended this week's episode with Justin Elliot, and Justin walked through fire. He walked through addiction, struggled through prison, a place he hated to be, the breakdown of his marriage, years of running from himself, losing his children. And he doesn't ask for your sympathy. He asks for your compassion. Not just for him, but for every person sleeping rough on the streets. Yeah, tonight. Imagine those sleeping alone tonight. They all have who has a story just as complicated and just as worthy of being heard. All those people do. And what I love most about Justin is that he looked at everything he got wrong and chose to turn it into something that serves others. That is by far not a weakness. That is the definition of courage. So here is my challenge for you this week. Look at something in your own life that you have been running from and ask yourself what it could become if you stopped running. Thank you so much for being here and joining me on my journey. Thanks for listening to Leading Our Own Way. Come back next week after Leading Your Own Way. Until then, follow the show, press that follow button, and we'll see you next week. Keep leading your own way. We'll see you then. Bye for now. Thanks for listening and watching Leading Our Own Way. So we can stay together forever and share more incredible journeys, please subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss next week's episode and what that amazing guest has to offer to the world. Please support Leading Our Own Way, and we'll get you on next week's episode.